Hey everyone, welcome to Otaku Talk. It's me, your boy, your host, OD, and today we'll be reviewing and analyzing chapter 1124 of One Piece. Not gonna lie, kind of a light chapter. I kind of felt like last chapter and this chapter could have been put together, but that's neither here nor there. We're just gonna have a bit of a shorter review, but we did get some tidbits of information in this chapter that I'm very happy to discuss. If this is your first time on my channel, or you've been here before but haven't done so already, would greatly appreciate if you could like, share, and subscribe. Would mean the absolute world to me. Anyway, without much further ado, let's get on with this review. So, 1124 of One Piece, chapter titled Best Friend. So, we have a cover story of Yamato after fending off some kidnapper on their way to Kuri. And I found that to be really interesting because, I kind of figured, we kind of got rid of all the bad people in Wano, right? I feel like all the Beast Pirates are probably locked up in Udon and stuff like that. Is at the prison, right? So it makes me wonder, like, okay, what bad elements are still around? Why would they be engaging in these activities? Why are they trying to steal women? You can kind of assume like what women would be used for. So like, what's going on there? Is there some kind of underground ring still alive? Yada yada yada. So I'm very curious what the next cover story is going to be if we can follow that. Anyway, getting on into the chapter, we start off with Vivi, Wapol, and Morgan's floating in his news, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And he is fucking ecstatic. He is like, yo, this is so much news. There are so many stories going on concurrently. This is like a newscaster, like news reporter's like wet dream right now. He can report anything. He has all the information and like everything is at his disposal. Vivi is giving him shit because, he is, Morgan's isn't, past, releasing fake news or releasing things that aren't 100% true, and Vivi is calling him out on it. Now, Morgan's threatens her and is like, hey, I'm kind of sheltering your ass. So like maybe it's not in your best interest to come for me right now, especially with like this whole world flooding and stuff right now. You're probably gonna want to be nice to me. And Vivi being the G she is like fuck you, pay me. Like if like selling my soul, if selling out means like die like living here, like fuck that. I'd rather like die now. Like I'm not gonna grovel to you. I'm not gonna do any of that shit. Meanwhile, Wapol is all for it. He's like chill out. Vivi is like no, fuck you. I'm gonna do whatever. And so I kind of respect that about her. She's like, whatever, send me down there. I don't give a fuck. Something that made me think a lot in this chapter was the fact that he says something that, like, basically in the skies, like, this is his domain, that he's untouchable. And that really made me think back to, once again, favorite arc, Skypiea, where there's absolutely zero marine presence, world government presence up in the Sky Islands. And I think once again, it just has everything to do with Earth and resources. There's nothing up there that they want. There's nothing up there that's useful to them. So they've kind of left it alone. Kind of similar to how there's no real marine presence underwater, except Sabaody, which is directly under, what's it called? Mary Joie. So like completely understandable why they control that area because, it's right under where they live. But overall, in the rest of the seas, they don't really seem to have any kind of desire to like try to control the sky or the seas. They just want to control like the land area, like all the islands and stuff like that. So I find that to be really interesting, and I'm wondering if that's going to have some kind of relevance to the story. Maybe all that means is that just there's a lot of things hidden in the sky and the sea that the world government wasn't privy to that will become relevant later. Who the hell knows? So after that, we head to the marine ships that are left on Egghead, and it is Akainu paging whoever is left, and he's kind of freaking out. He's like, hello, hello, is anyone there? Please don't tell me you guys are dead. And to which Kizaru picks up the line, right? Now, Akainu immediately has an attitude with Borsalino and comes for him. He's like, did you do your job properly? And usually, Kizaru is kind of lackadaisical. He's kind of, nonchalant. But in this moment, he's very, very, very emotional. Very emotional. And he kind of kirks the fuck out on Akainu, which was really incredible to see. Like, it's a very small moment of, like, it's a very small character moment, but it was like super impactful for what it was because like he kirks on Aka Inu. We see a couple panels of a flashback of Borsellino initially meeting Vegapunk, and their initial meeting was actually for him to arrest Vegapunk. Vegapunk's like, listen, I know that this whole arrest is kind of a farce. You guys just want me to work for you. That's cool. How much money are you guys willing to like provide and fund me, right? And so I'm very curious actually about that whole situation because he talks to Dragon about working for the world government. So I'm wondering if that arrest happened before or after he was approached by Dragon. So anyway, years pass and he tells him about Egghead and now he's gonna make it Island of the Future and ask for his help. And he's like, I'm an admiral now, right? And I think part of that dialogue, it was trying to tell us is, this isn't the kind of relationship they should be having. He shouldn't be just talking so like nonchalantly and callously to Kizaru, and also like that like helping him set up Egghead is way below his pay grade and station in life now. Yet you see him carrying a bunch of I beams anyway because he wants to help Vegapunk. Now, a common problem that I can definitely tell I'm going to see after this video release and I upload it is I feel like people are going to say they don't really feel anything in terms of like this relationship with Kizaru and Vegapunk. They didn't really feel this like camaraderie or kinship. I did feel like there was something between them. I did definitely feel like there was a lot of regret, like this wasn't something that Kizaru really wanted to do. We had the flashbacks earlier where they were having pizza parties and dancing, so we did have kind of a sense and of an idea that like Kizaru did like Vegapunk. That part is no surprise to us. The part that is surprising to us is that he liked him so much he not only called him his best friend but also killed his best friend. And so Kizaru was like, what the fuck do you mean am I slacking? Have you ever had to kill your best friend? If you have time to talk shit behind a fucking desk, why don't you fucking come over here and see for yourself if I did my job? So I was like, damn! I was like, okay, because like Aka Inu, like Kizaru, I've always thought, in my opinion, has to be one of the strongest admirals. Now I've completely dismissed that. I do still think that because of the fact that he really didn't want to do this, that there was a factor at play in terms of like, I don't really want to do this. I'm not trying 100%. I truly believe he wasn't trying 100%. I might be coping, but that is what I am sticking to. That is my story, and I'm sticking to it. I don't think he was trying 100%. I don't think if he was, he could fight Luffy regardless. But I still think that like he was phoning it in. That's just how I feel. And so after hearing that, I think Aka Inu immediately realizes like, oh shit, like this is the same Kizaru that like always jokes and is laid back and blah blah. And he's like serious as fuck right now. He's talking back to me kind of like hard as fuck right now. Like, okay, like he definitely did his job. And like this was definitely hard on him and he had to make a sacrifice. And the part that really gets to me is he apologizes and calls him brother. So that was nutting me. So like there seems to be some kind of inherent like respect for Aka Inu, whether he had it before or in that moment, knowing, okay, like you went above and beyond for the call of justice. As someone that believes in absolute justice, I can relate with that. You're like a brother in like arms. You're a brother in absolute justice with me because you did something that you didn't really want to do for the sake of justice. And I think this is going to tie back heavily into whatever backstory we get for Aka Inu, because Oda likes his subversions and he likes to, give us depth into the characters. And I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if we find out that Aka Inu isn't this like cold-hearted dude that we really think him out to be. Just how like Aokiji, who is supposed to be like this cold dude because he has the ice fruit, is actually very like passionate and like very compassionate and stuff like that and wants to help people. I think it's going to be something similar with Aka Inu, and something in his past made him go, no matter what, I have to have the resolve. I feel like he has kind of a stoicism akin to like Zoro, where like, yeah, like this is disgusting. Yeah, like I can't believe I did this. Yeah, children are gonna die. Yeah, elderly are gonna die. Yeah, innocents are gonna die. But it's all for the sake of justice, and I will take that to bed, and I can I can go to sleep at night knowing that like my actions in the long run are for the greater good. I think we're gonna get something like that. And so one last thing I would like to mention is the fact that I'm really wondering if Vegapunk was able to get some kind of message or convey some kind of thought or something to Kizaru and let him know that, hey, it's okay to kill me. Go ahead and kill me. I'm still gonna survive. Hey, do me a favor. And just yada yada yada. Like I feel like we might get a random flashback where we see that there was some kind of exchange where Vegapunk lets Kizaru know that, hey, it's either okay to kill me or like, hey, I need you to do something for me after you kill me. Something like that. We'll see. But like I don't know. Unless like Kizaru just really is like, more staunch than we thought he was. Like, whew. So, bada bing, bada boom. After that, we get back to the Great Eric or whatever, and we have the Straw Hats. We have Jinbei, Sanji, and Zoro. No, sorry, Jinbei, Frankie, and Zoro talking about the fact that like it's so weird for them to like not have a party after like an event like this, and how like Luffy is moping because Vegapunk died, and like Frankie and Jinbei are kind of all like, yeah, I don't know why he's beating himself up so much. We had to deal with the five elders, the Seraphim, CP0, an armada of warships, and an admiral. Like we had no business getting away. To which Jinbei concurs. He's like, yeah, I completely agree. Like I'm honestly shocked that like we were able to get away. Meanwhile, Zoro's over there cleaning his swords or whatever. Like I don't know about y'all niggas, but like this is pathetic for a Yonko crew, bro. Like of course we were supposed to get away, and like of course, and like okay, like Luffy, someone died, but like nut up about it. So like that's my boy, bro. That's my boy. I agree with all of them though. Like I agree with Frankie and Jinbei. Like this wasn't a great accomplishment, great defeat. They're a baby Yonko crew as far as I'm concerned. And so being a baby Yonko crew for them to get out of here, like out of there and stuff like that, and make out in peace and like have the luck they did with these giants and Emeth and stuff like that. Cause yeah, they truly had no business getting out. Absolutely, I'm with the shits. Like absolutely, but also I do like the mind state that Zoro is in because both I do think that everyone else needs to kind of adapt that mindset. Like we're not just random people anymore. We're not random upstarts. This isn't the East Blue. This isn't the beginning of paradise. Like no, we are a Yonko crew. We need to hold ourselves like a Yonko. We have to act like a Yonko. We have to represent Luffy like a Yonko crew. So like things like this are going to be normal for us now. People are going to be trying to test us now. At least like in the early stages of our Yonko ness, because people are going to want to test like, are we truly worthy of this title? And we're going to have to consistently show people like, fuck around and you will find out that the Straw Hats ain't nothing to fuck with. And so like I respect that aspect about him. The other reason I like this attitude from him is because it lets me know that no matter what happens to Luffy, Zoro is going to stay locked the fuck in. So like if Luffy was super depressed, if Luffy was in a position where like I can't fight right now, I'm sad, I'm just not about that shit, Zoro would step up and fill that role in the meantime until Luffy gets his stuff. Anyway, Lilith wakes up and finds themselves on the Great Eric on like one of their chairs, and it's super cool how small they are in comparison to the rest of the ship. And basically, they're kind of disoriented and asking what happened, but then they also reveal like actually never mind. Everyone told me what happened, and like Sanji and a bunch of people like inquire like, what do you mean everyone told you what happened? And we find out later that Lilith still shares some kind of connection in some way, shape, or form to the other Vegapunks. And we see Luffy depressed eating. Chopper says he's only eaten 5 branches of grapes, and these are like giant grapes, like probably the size of my entire room, right? And so like I think Lilith is the one that's like only ate 5 branches of grapes. That's a lot, but not for Luffy. Like I think like I also love the fact that like we've known Luffy so much that the fact that we see him eating but he's not like engorged is a testament to like how sad he is, because literally like he's on a giant ship with giant food. You would think he would be in full like giant Luffy mode, full fat Luffy, right? That we all know, but no, he's too sad to eat that much, so he's only munching on grapes. Not even meat, bro. Not even meat. Just on some like that's how you know he's really sad. He's just chewing on some fruits and stuff. And so, in order to cheer him up, Lilith basically lets him know that like, no, you did do your job. Everyone essentially is still alive. And so something cool about this is I think it has two meanings, two purposes, right? One, I think it's simply the easiest one is all the Vegapunks are alive because Punk Records is alive, and more or less their consciousness and their thoughts and memories are still there. And when does a man die? When he is forgotten. So as long as their memories of themselves are exist and people's memory of them exists, they're always going to be alive. And so I like that aspect, and she has access to all their knowledge and stuff like that, and maybe they can help her. My only problem and question is what is going to happen to Punk Records? The world government has that place surrounded. Once they wake up and stuff, they can take it over. I feel like there has to be some kind of grand contingency Vegapunk had to, like, I don't know, send like the Punk Records to like the Sky Island or have it transported or something, because I just feel like that is a very dangerous thing to leave in the hands of the world government, and I would be surprised if like they just allowed it to like stay there. On top of that, like York, I believe is still alive, right? Did York die? Did Saturn die? Like we don't really see what happened to these people, or at least I don't remember. And so like that's another big question, and I don't think York should have access to the Punk Records, and I also think it's very dangerous for York to have access to the Punk Records, because now we have two people, one on our side and one on their side, that has access to, let's I was gonna say infinite, but not infinite, but vast wealths of knowledge, and knows about a bunch of the things that the other satellites knew, besides whatever was erased from their memories or not uploaded to Punk Records, right? The other aspect of this is that they basically talk about it's a matter of perspective. Like they're not alive in the like whatever, they're still all alive, but not in like in the literal sense they're all dead. And I think that this is kind of a clue, this is an allusion to something Oda's going to do later with like the D Clan and like Joy Boy and Roger and stuff, where effectively they are dead, but in some way, shape, or form they are able to remain and linger. And that's why when someone says something like maybe it's Usopp or something, like you mean like ghosts, I think we're gonna get something like that, either hockey ghosts, spirits, what have you. We know about the Clebotterman and stuff like that. So I think in some way, shape, or form we're going to have this theory of mine. I'm so stuck on. I have just some feeling. Basically, we know that there's an afterlife in the One Piece. We have Brook. We have Zoro, who's the king of the underworld, and all these things. And then we have the Clebotterman, and like we know in Japanese culture and even in One Piece, like if you care about something enough, it develops a soul. So like, and we know that like clones and what have you, Vegapunk says, it doesn't matter like something's existence or how something came to be. If it is, it is. And so like, I really do think that this is all leading up to some kind of grand moment at the end where we have like spirits and wills from the past come to the present to aid us. Anyway, that news instantly cheers up Luffy. He's like, all right, bet, fuck it, let's party. I'm happy. I did my job. Vegapunk's not truly dead. And so they begin to party. And then he also says that he reaffirms that he's still after the One Piece. He's still going to become the Pirate King, and he's going to shake the world. And he doesn't care who is with him or against him. They're going to go for it. And I think those words are kind of ominous because we get a panel literally right after he says that with someone waiting at Elbaf. Now, I think we can all assume it's Shanks. So this is going to be a great moment. Usopp is probably going to get to meet his dad. Luffy is going to meet Shanks at the pinnacle. We saw Shanks give no mercy to Kid, but that was kind of, nuanced because he saw a observation hockey future where Kid injured a lot of his peoples. Luffy's not going to do that, so I'm wondering if they're going to go straight to fighting, if they're going to have like a dinner, if they're going to have like a Davy back fight. Like, I don't think it's going to be a Davy back fight, but I can't wait to see their reunion. Personally, I thought that Shanks and crew left Elbaf. So I wonder why they would come back anyway, and I also wonder why they didn't come and help out Luffy. Maybe they felt like he needs to stand on his own 2 feet as a Yonko, but by that same merit, why like the Giants went and got him. So it's a whole thing, but I cannot wait to see the next chapter. I cannot wait to see Elbaf. I can't wait to see what happens there. I can't wait to find out about Loki. I really, really hope some way, shape, or form Kaido and Big Mom, mainly Big Mom, show up on Elbaf. Or if they don't show up on Elbaf, we get fucking closure to the story of Big Mom and Elbaf and what happened. Because I think we all know what happened, but I really want a first person take about what happened and, like, you know, just everything with Big Mom so we can get some closure. And I would like for Big Mom to get closure on that regard too. Like, I know fuck her, but also, like, I think she needs to be confronted with what she did. So, yeah, guys, like I said, that's all I really want to talk about. I don't have too many like theories or crazy things going on right now. This was a rather chill, tame chapter. It was cool. I kind of wish that this chapter and last chapter were like together in some way, because I really thought last chapter was a great way to end. But this was also a great way to end, or I guess you can consider this maybe the start of Egghead. This is either the end of Egghead or the start of Elbaf, I mean. So, yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe if you liked it. And take care. Peace. This has been Otaku Talk. It's me, your boy, your host.